I'm not ready.
It's here, boys.
Live from New York. It's a show that just wants to watch all of the games.
Yeah.
By themselves.
This guy.
My ideal viewing scenario, they show the bar. It's like, look at this big screen, thousands of people. Solitary confinement in like a maximum prison. No one can bother me.
Agreed.
But I'm just sitting there quietly with nothing.
Yes, KW.
Just locked in.
I agree. But occasionally team building.
Yeah.
Bruce watched at my house. Greg's watched with me. Coach has watched with me.
Greg?
Danny's watched with me. Of course.
I thought
everyone
Greg
but
just
you.
worked out and went to his
Thursday
condo.
night.
Yeah. Greg, a Thursday night. Everyone but you.
Also, the pictures, if you go back on our social media, the screens are right there. It's like the worst thing. It's like if you go to a movie a half hour.
We all don't have a palatial estate like you.
But I'll just look at my phone on the train if I'm going to do that. Hey, welcome.
I think you've got one TV, though, in your computer.
Yeah.
No,
We've got the whole shebang. We watch the whole league. All Sunday, every game.
And
you got one game, whatever they put on in your region and your computer. That's
it.
Exactly.
Well, the computer has.
And you're acting like you're locked in. You've got two little boys coming down.
They're locked in too. We're all locked in.
Just hang out with us once.
No.
Okay.
We're starting with Cowboys Eagles. We are 5 hours away from kickoff. Champs versus the nobody believes in us Cowboys, who no one believes in. They are 8.5-point underdogs. What did this line start at?
7.
7, and it keeps
maybe
moving
6.5 months ago, but was sitting at 7 before the Micah trade.
Biggest favorites in a season kickoff game since 2002. It's the Chiefs versus the Texans. They won by 14. Then it's the Eagles.
I don't think that was
tonight.
02, but I think that was in 2020.
No, since it's biggest favorite.
Oh, I get it. My bad.
This is why we don't hang out.
Sorry.
Eagles are second biggest favorites. We'll see how they win. The other game was a blowout, but that Dak Brady rematch, they only won by 2.
Yeah,
is this line disrespectful to Dallas?
No. How is this disrespectful? They hung 75 on the Cowboys last year in 2 games. Dak wasn't there. But Micah was there. Are they a better defense now that Micah won't be there?
Depends on.
Are they going to give up 102 games? Well, yeah, coaching is ilk. The run. No, this is not disrespectful, though. And here's the thing about Dak. Everybody's Dak is back. Dak played 8 games last year. They were 3-5. Yeah. And 3 of the losses were to non-playoff teams. So it's not like Dak had 11 touchdowns, 8 picks, and an 86 passer rating.
But before that, he was in the MVP talks.
Before that was 2 years ago.
I know, but it feels like very.
All I'm saying, I'm not saying Dak is on the decline. All I'm saying is he played half a season last year. Half a season. And he was bad.
Yes.
By his standards, he was bad.
Yeah.
And so let's see what Dak we get. But here's the other thing. Philly is not going to take them lightly. I mean, I think we all think Philly obviously is better. Part of Dallas maybe winning, making it a game, would be Philly kind of relaxing a bit. It's banner night, all that stuff. They know a few things. One, they know their fans will boo them on banner night if they don't come out and play well. It's happened before, all right? So they know that. They also know that Dallas would not talk. New news from Adam Schefter. Breaking news this morning. The Eagles wanted in on Micah.
Oh, yeah.
And the Cowboys wouldn't listen, which I get. We all understand that. But still, if I'm the Eagles, I'm using that as motivation. Oh, really? You don't want the guy? You wouldn't talk with us about the trade? So they have, and here's the last thing, Nick. Vic Fangio.
Yeah.
He's won 4 straight games against the Cowboys with 3 different teams. The Broncos. Heck, he took the Dolphins against the Cowboys and beat them. Now, that's saying a lot because the Dolphins don't beat good teams. All right? So he owns the Cowboys offense. This is not disrespectful. I think it's going to be at least a 14-point win.
Wow.
I kind of hope I'm wrong because it'd be great to see a good game tonight, but I think it's 14
so
points.
So listen, I don't find the line disrespectful. Not as disrespectful as Bruce kind of dismiss. I found Bruce's analysis more disrespectful to the Cowboys than the line.
Listen,
Philly if this were in Dallas and this is the point spread, that's wild. But in Philadelphia, I understand it because here is the other piece of it, is that, yes, Philly blew them out and Dak wasn't playing. But as you've talked about, one of the games Jalen wasn't playing, and they still scored whenever 41. They want. They scored 41. Those 2 games Jalen didn't really play last year. The game he got concussed, and then the next game, Philly scored 33 and 41 without Pickett or McKee doing much. It was all Saquon. And so I understand why the line is where it is. Where I think that Dallas has a shot to keep this competitive is actually about the Fangio defense. And where if I were forced to bet this game, and good note for everyone out there, you don't have to bet every game, not even the first game of the year. Pick your spots.
You're not betting this?
No, because I think the line's about right. If you think the line's about right, there's no reason to bet it. But if I had to, I'd take the divisional team with a really good quarterback getting more than a touchdown against the very young defense. So that is the through line for the Cowboys is maybe eventually the Eagles defense is going to be great, but will the Eagles defense be great immediately to start the year? I don't think so. That's not me disrespecting the Eagles or discounting them. It's just, as Danny talked about yesterday, you lose 4,000 snaps, you lose all that veteran presence, and where the Eagles should be good no matter what is run defense, where the Cowboys don't want to run the ball or can't run the ball. Where I think they could struggle is pass defense as far as pass rush and the entirety of their secondary other than DeJean and Mitchell, the 2 kids they drafted last year. That's where I could see Dallas making this a real game and where I could see I don't think Philly has extra motivation because maybe Howie Roseman does. I don't think the players have extra motivation because they wouldn't trade him Micah Parsons.
That though, bro.
I do think it's noteworthy that Philly was interested in Micah Parsons because I think that now you can say everybody was, but everybody didn't call the Cowboys. Like I think
they didn't have money. They would have made
it would have been a very long-term painful, short-term reward move to make, but I think it's because they understand for the first time since Jalen's the quarterback, they don't have a standout, to me, edge rusher on this team. And I'm just saying since Jalen's the quarterback, I just mean in this time frame. So I think the line is fine, but I think there's a lot of it's not crazy to think that this is a game that's tied at halftime. A high score, you know what I mean? That it's halftime 17-17. Both teams are having trouble stopping the other one. I think that's not necessarily likely, but a plausible game script.
2 games on the ground for the Eagles, 187 and 179.
Yeah.
So it might get ugly.
They're going to run on
they haven't seen Kenny Clark.
Jalen Hurts, Super Bowl MVP, has won 14 games in a row that he started and finished. We took out the concussion game. 95 points in the conference championship and Super Bowl, the most ever. Then we did a little 5 teams there and what they scored in week 1 following those historic performances.
A lot of gall on you, buddy.
Why?
Brew, look. It's okay for you to talk about the Joe Montana 49ers, but not me and Brew.
That's
Unbelievable.
Look at all those.
That is a fair point.
Put that team in sepia or something if you're going to put it on the screen.
So some week 1s in the teens, 94 49ers had 87 points. They scored 24 in week 1. Do we expect Jalen and the offense to pick up where they left off?
Absolutely not. No, because where they left off was not where they had been. You know what I mean? It's not like this was a team that all year long was, running and throwing, but mostly throwing for big plays. That's just not who they were. I mean, Jalen threw for 2,800 yards last year. I understand he missed the very end of the last 2.5 games of the season.
But he wasn't on pace.
He threw for 18 touchdowns. The Eagles' first 2 playoff games, they were not an explosive offense, even though Saquon had as explosive of a season as any running back basically ever. So I think it would be illogical to say, yep, who we saw them be when they played on both sides of the ball, almost a perfect game against Kansas City, and on the offensive side of the ball, almost a perfect game against Washington, that's just what they're going to be. So no, I don't expect Philadelphia to look like, the best running team and, a top 3 or 4 passing team in the league like they did the final 2 games of the year.
I look at it this way. They put 40 on a top 5 defense in the Super Bowl. Last time we saw them, they put 40 points on a great defense.
Some defensive scores as well.
Okay, but still. So
one
what was
defensive
it?
score.
Yeah,
Right?
30,
I got
33,
confused.
34, whatever it was. What are they going to do to a defense that we don't have to get into EPA? But according to EPA, is the worst defense. I notice Nick uses it when it's
No, I've never used it before you brought it up on the show.
But you
never
use it every
once.
day now.
It's every
they
day.
are the worst defense according to the analytics nerds. All right, in the league without Micah Parsons. Now maybe Kenny Clark raises them up to 30th, 29th. I don't know. And look, Kenny Clark is a good player. Is he shutting down the run? You just said it. They averaged 183 yards on the ground against Dallas last year with Micah playing both games. He played both games. So now I think they're going to still be able to run on the Cowboys. I think they'll definitely be able to pass on them because I get it that the Cowboys have gotten some depth on the edges and stuff. I don't expect them to have a better pass rush without Micah Parsons. And again, I think attitude is important, and I think Philly's going to come out and want to make a statement. So, I do, Nick. I'm not saying they're going to get 40, but I think they'll probably get 30.
Get in the 30s?
Yeah.
I understand that we saw Philadelphia, like in the games I referenced, the games where Jalen was hurt. They had a backup quarterback in, and Kenny Pickett didn't throw for 150 yards in either game, and they averaged 38 points per game in those 2 games. Man, that is such a rarity in this league to put up explosive offensive numbers and scores without doing it through the air, at least in large part. I know Philadelphia did it, as evidenced by that. And in the Washington game, they scored every way they wanted to. But they scored, they scored 55 points in the Washington game, and Jalen didn't throw for 250 yards. Like, that is not unprecedented, but close to it. I do not think that is what we are about to see tonight. I don't think Philadelphia all of a sudden is going to be this explosive, quick strike offense.
I think, well, first of all, they did average 27 points last year.
Agreed.
So
but
that's a lot.
No, correct, but we're saying where they picked up where they left off, and you're saying
stylistically, I'm not saying that Jalen's going to throw for 300 yards. I'm just saying I think they're going to put up a bunch of points.
And I also think the thing that has KW not been, we've referenced it, but it hasn't really been a part of anyone's analysis so much, which is what's that 27 points per game going to look like when Saquon doesn't have multiple 40-plus yard runs seemingly every other week? Like, that is the thing that I don't think we are likely to see happen year over year. Where, you know what I mean? The Saquon just insane in the playoff game, slapping his helmet, running down the field. Like, we came to last year expect that. You know what I mean? Like, that was...
He's been a big play, back his whole career.
Yeah, but last year was by any back standards historic.
But he's also playing behind the best offensive line in football.
Well, so that's
a team where you do have to respect the pass.
You have to respect the pass. 2 great receivers. The other thing is they did lose one of their best run blockers in Becton, who was kind of a reclamation project, but had been excellent for them. So there's just a lot of pieces where I could see week 1 of the season, the Eagles offense in a game that there's a lot going into it where they score, 24 points.
Yeah, I'd be happy with that.
Yeah, I don't think that's...
Well, I've got a few nicknames. This guy's been trying to sell me on Captain Easy Stance.
No,
I take the Super Bowl MVP, and I kind of just roll it into week 1.
Yeah.
Here's the other one. I dusted it off. The Mayor of Fair.
Oh, that was a good one. We liked that
That's
one.
really
But then you
cool.
started being so wildly unfair.
Right. So I'm
You
trying
didn't
to
win re-election.
I'm trying to bring the mayor affair back.
Okay.
I will tell you something I'm a little bit nervous of as the Jalen Hurts guy. Week 1 last year against the Packers, those haunted 3rd and long gotta throw plays, and Jalen twice against the Packers. This was in the 4th quarter. 3rd and 13, 13 minutes to go. The Eagles are up 31-26. On the run, forces an off-balance throw. Jair Alexander comes up with that. That's after, when it was scoreless, he throws from 13, it was 3rd and 15 from his own end zone. He airs it out into like a Packers party. Now he got rid of that. He stopped doing that.
Well, they stopped throwing it. He didn't get rid of it.
Well, yeah,
they stopped throwing it.
They're like, Jan, stop throwing those like wide passes on 3rd and long.
They started running the ball on 3rd and 12 and then punting. And you yelled at me and Brew and Coach about this all summer. Where was Mara Fair all summer when that is what Coach is talking about? 3rd and long, what can you do? And you're like, I don't care about 3rd and long.
They didn't get into a ton of 3rd and longs after that. They started to plan it out differently.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Early in the year, they were planning to get in 3rd and long.
Yeah, well, because
later in the year, they were like, you know what? You know what we should avoid?
Yeah,
you know what? 3rd and long, yeah.
Let's avoid 3rd and 13.
Wacky stuff happens. You know what the Ravens' big learn was? Hand the ball to Derrick Henry more.
Okay, all right.
You learn stuff week 1, stuff that you think is obvious to the outsiders.
I interrupted your point, but go ahead. I'm sorry.
I'm a little nervous about that. I'm a little bit nervous of Jalen saying, you know what, week 1, let me flex just a little bit here. I know I'm stoic and everything, and let me get a little bit 3rd and 13. Let me just show off the arm.
Hold on.
I'm a little bit nervous. That's the mayor affair. That's not me waving the pom-poms.
But
that's the mayor affair saying, I'm a little bit nervous that could rear its head in week 1.
Can I, too long, didn't read it, just to make sure I have it right? What you're saying is, if the Eagles find themselves in a must-pass situation, that is the circumstance that you have the least confidence in.
I don't want Jalen to gamble. It felt like he was like gambling.
They put him in they made him throw. Kansas City made him throw. Yeah, they sold out to stop Saquon.
I prefer not to be in
But again, even in the Super Bowl, I think he threw the ball 28 times. Like it was and he didn't throw for any. Again, he was obviously great.
Because it got out. At the end they didn't.
No, that's a good point. At the end, they're not having.
I think he would have been on pace to throw 30.
Okay, that's probably true. I didn't. He
was sitting down for a long time at the end.
But I just wanted to.
That's the mayor affair. That's not me.
After a summer of arguing, hours before week 1 kicks off, your big updated Eagles take is in must-pass situations, they might be a little shaky.
Not they. I just want
not they.
Wow.
To continue to make savvy decisions. It was just a week. Hey, remember week 1 last year? He did this. I don't want him to do that.
In an effort to play both sides, so tomorrow he can come in and be right no matter what.
I'm not playing both sides.
Throwing your guy under the bus.
I'm not playing both sides.
Okay.
That's called the mayor affair.
Okay, thank you.
I'm not out here waving the pom-poms.
We missed him while you were waving the pom-poms.
When there's new data, I will look at it.
And calling Nick Sirianni, John Madden, and Jalen Hurts.
Those are the facts.
Okay.
The guy has won as much as John Madden.
You make an Angel Reese sound like the ultimate team.
I didn't see the Angel Reese quote. You guys got to stop referencing.
Okay, sorry.
I don't know what it is.
It wasn't good.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, moving on. Dak Prescott. First game action since a Week 9 hamstring injury ended his season. 2-0 in his last 2 season openers. A win over Cleveland and the overmatched Giants. Here's the odd stat. Want to hear an odd stat? Last 2 years, the Cowboys have outscored their opponents 73-17, and Dak has only thrown for 1 touchdown, 322 yards combined. Isn't that interesting? I thought it was odd.
That is an odd.
What's on the line for Dak tonight?
Oh, I think, Brew, it's a very weird spot for Dak where he has rarely found himself in, which is a lot to gain and nothing to lose.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, like that is not a spot Dak Prescott typically resides in as the quarterback of the Cowboys and a Cowboys team that typically goes into the year with very high expectations. Now, traded away Micah, nondescript running game again, new head coach that nobody, it's not, whatever as far as the buzz of Ben Johnson is, Brian Schottenheimer's the opposite on the buzz scale as far as new head coach. And everyone knows the Cowboys' path is going to go through his right arm. So even if he makes some mistakes, I don't think people are going to kill him and be like, well, he has to take the chances you're saying you don't want Jalen to.
Yeah.
It's their only path. Yeah. So if Dak comes out tonight and plays great and they win the game, then let me put it like this. You know what Friday morning on maybe not this show, but other shows will be, hey, were we too quick to anoint Jalen Hurts past Dak Prescott?
Yeah.
Going to be a lot
of MVP conversations.
Right, Dak almost won league MVP 2 years ago. Like, that is, to me, and if they lose, nobody's killing him.
Right.
If they lose, the conversation's about Jerry and Micah. You know what I mean? Like, or I mean, I guess there are some ways they could lose where if he blows it, they got
if it was like a Mahomes in the Super Bowl type thing, like, what are you doing, running around, throwing the ball to the wrong team?
Yeah.
Cooper DeJean has more yards than your own offense. I think that would become a Dak conversation. Go on.
Hold on. Can I ask which that wasn't Captain Easy Stance, nor was that the Mayor of Fair. Which is that the troll that lives under the bridge character you're working on? Spicy Wilds. Nobody likes that one. You don't even like it. You can't even keep a straight face. You get halfway through the take, you look down, you start writing. You don't like it.
I'm looking at my stats, making sure they're updated.
Go ahead, bro.
No, you're right. Like, he has nothing. Nobody expects him to win tonight. You're not going to be able to blame Dak if they lose tonight. I think the only thing, and I am not saying he is on the decline, but as I referenced earlier, he wasn't good in the 8 games he played last year. All right, 3 and 5. Schedule wasn't incredibly tough.
No, and 11 touchdowns, 8 picks is not great. Yeah.
86 pass rating, as I said. If he has a really bad game or just a bad game, I do think, at least I'll just have my antennas up. I'll just be like, it's been a while since we saw Dak consistently play.
I think it's tough for him to have a bad game. I still think he's going to, if they go down big like we're predicting, he's just going to keep airing it out.
I don't think Dak has been great without a run game. And I don't think they have any run game.
Statistically, he's had.
Well, yeah, as far as winning.
Right. So, and we're talking about,
he's put up numbers.
He's put up big numbers. Like, that's actually what I foresee for Dak this year is where the team is a little bit worse and the numbers are a little bit worse, but Joe Burrow last year, where if you only look at
not as good as Burrow.
Not quite as good, but honest to God, could see Dak Prescott having a 4,600-yard, 32-touchdown season, and the Cowboys being 7-10.
Right.
You know what I mean?
He was on pace for 6,000 the year he only played 5. Right. I know he wouldn't have got it, but I'm just saying.
Pre-Flores Vikings and Kirk Cousins, why am I putting that in my?
The first 4 weeks of the year when Cousins
was for 4 weeks,
when the Vikings weren't.
Then they lost.
The Vikings didn't have a good defense, and Kirk Cousins just had to air it out.
Yeah.
That was just a couple years ago.
Yeah.
I could see that.
Yeah, so that's kind of, and honestly, I'm not a fantasy football player, but like that's.
Yes.
I think that Dak and CD and maybe even Pickens could be
he's got
super valuable because I also think they're just going to be losing a lot of games. And so they're going to have to keep throwing and throw and throw. And I don't think tonight they have no shot. I think it'd be foolish to pick against Philly tonight, especially when I thought Dallas was going to be bad before they traded Micah. But I just think there's a lot of soft factors in tonight's game that could make it weird. And whenever a game is weird, like whether it's the Chiefs playing in Brazil or the banner night.
It's a division game.
Yeah, division game with.
Just go in there and be like, tell the Dallas defense, like, so you guys are no good, huh? Looks like you guys have no chance.
That would be your pregame speech. Right?
That would work. Mike is not here. You guys stink.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get more from the show and to check out clips from other shows on FS1.